Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth, and this is Beth's Bookish Reviews, and I'm here today to show you my December TBR or pile of possibilities. Some of these will definitely get read, and some of these will maybe get read, and some of these will be sitting here next year in the pile of possibilities. So grab you a drink and let's get to this. So I'm going to wait on my possibilities. I want to show you first the read-alongs that I want to read and my DIY literature degree that I will be reading, and so as I arrange stuff. How are you doing? Now I'm filming this way early, so we won't talk about the fact that I'm wearing a fall shirt. I could have went and been really cute and put on my Christmassy shirts. I do have plenty of those. Okay, so I'm going to start with Charlene, Coffee and a Book. It's Charlene from Coffee and a Book and Anne from In Search of Wonder. They are doing the 250th birthday celebration of Jane Austen. So for the last month of the year, they are reading A Jane Austen Christmas by Maria Grace. It's a Regency Christmas Traditions, and or I don't know if it's both of them or one of them, A Jane Austen Christmas by Carlo DeVito, celebrating the season of romance, ribbons, and mistletoe. So I don't know if you can read one of them or both of them. Also doing a buddy read of a couple of books is Katie from Books and Things. And she is reading and said that anybody could read along with her, The Rose and the Ring. Isn't that a beautiful cover? By William Makepeace Thackeray. And Mary Elizabeth Braddon's The Christmas Hirelings. Also, Jenna from Books Love Jenna, her book club picks this month for December are The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chakosky. I don't know. And Eiffel's Tower by Jill Jonas. And my series that I've been working on that I will finish in December is Ellen Hilderbrand, Winter Solstice. For my DIY literature degree, I will finish up with North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, and I will read Hard Times by Charles Dickens. So those are all absolutely, I will be reading those books. Now, strong possibility, I really want to read these books. An Irish Country Christmas by Patrick Taylor. I do not know where I put my Irish Country Doctor book that I started, and I meant to get back to it. So it is somewhere around this house. But I want to read this, and even though it's in the middle of the series, I still want to read it. And I really want to read this one, The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. And these next ones are going to be a pick and choose. I'm not sure. So, Bellwether Rhapsody by Kate Reculia. And I'll tell you what these are about. So it says 15 years ago, a murder-suicide in room 712 rocked the grand old Bellwether Hotel and the young bridesmaid who witnessed it many graves. Now hundreds of high school musicians have gathered at the Bellwether for the annual statewide festival. Minnie has returned to face her demons, and a blizzard is threatening to trap them all inside. When a young prodigy disappears from infamous room 712, the search for her entwines an eccentric cast of conductors and caretakers, teenagers on the verge, and adults haunted by memories. A genre-bending page-turner full of playful nods to pop culture classics, from The Shining to Agatha Christie to Glee, Bellwether Rhapsody is a winning new novel from writer to watch. So, that sounds like it's going to be really good. And I'll go back and tell you what the others are about after we're done with these. Okay. This was a recommendation from Jenna, as is probably the next 4. All right, so this one is by Anita Hughes. I know there's a sticker on it, but I'm afraid to peel it off. This is Christmas at the Chalet. It's the day after Christmas, and Felicity Grant is at a gorgeous ski chalet for the biggest fashion show of her career. Felicity is a rising star in the bridal field, but when her boyfriend gives her a spa day instead of a diamond ring for Christmas, she realizes she may never walk down the aisle in one of her own designs. And then there's Nell, the top model headlining Felicity's show. Nell is planning her dream wedding to her wonderful fiance with one catch. Her divorced parents can't stand each other and threaten to no-show if the other is there. Add to that Felicity's race against the clock to create a special gown for a prestigious bridal salon, and what both girls need is a Christmas miracle. What better place to find one than in the Swiss Alps, with its dark forests and sparkling vistas. Okay, so usually every year, the last couple of years, I say every year, and it's only been the last couple of years, I read this book. And this one has a couple of I think there's also one in here that Katie from Books and Things is going to be reading, but I can't remember which one it is, and I may be misspeaking. I'm not sure, because I think there was 3, but like I said, I can't be sure. But I'm going to read A Christmas Carol again this year by Charles Dickens, and if there is another one in here that she is reading, I will read it. Or if there is a Charles Dickens, then I will read that as well. So everybody knows that A Christmas Carol is about Ebenezer Scrooge, and he's visited by 3 ghosts: a Christmas past, a Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas yet to come. And he has to change his lifestyle. Okay, this one is by Mary Kay Andrews, and it's The Santa Suit. And like I said, this is a Jenna from Books Love Jenna recommendation. I will link her down below. She has all kinds of wonderful recommendations. And it says, when newly divorced Ivy Perkins buys an old farmhouse, sight unseen, she is definitely looking for a change in her life. The Four Roses, as the farmhouse is called, is a labor of love, but Ivy didn't bargain on just how much labor. The previous family left so much furniture and so much junk that it's a full-time job sorting through all of it. At the top of a closet, Ivy discovers an old Santa suit, beautifully made and decades old. In the pocket of the suit, she finds a note written in a childish hand. It's from a little girl who has one Christmas wish, and that is for her father to return home from the war. This discovery sets Ivy off on a mission. Who wrote the note? Did the man ever come home? What mysteries did the Rose family hold? Ivy's quest brings her into the community at a time when all she wanted to do was be left alone and nurse her wounds. But the magic of Christmas makes miracles happen, and Ivy just might find more than she ever thought possible. A welcoming town, a family reunited, a mystery solved, and a second chance at love. Okay, this one is Just Like Magic by Sarah Hogle. Oh, I gotta have the light down here. All right, sorry. I'll try not to. Let me put it over here. Betty Hughes once knew the comfort of luxury, flaunting a collection of designer purses and an enviable dream home in Hawaii. That was before she lost all her money. Long obsessed with her public image, Betty boasts an extravagant lifestyle on social media. But the reality is Betty is broke and squatting in Colorado, and her family has no idea. Let me see if I can read it without my glasses. Christmas, with its pressure to meet familial expectations, is looming when Betty plays a vinyl record of All I Want for Christmas Is You backward and accidentally conjures up the holiday spirit, in the form of a charming and handsome, if offbeat man. Once the shock wears off, Betty knows she's stumbled upon the greatest gift, a chance to make all her holiday wishes come true, plus a ready-made fiancé. But as some of Betty's wishes lose their charm, she finds herself thrown off kilter by Hall's sweet nature. Suddenly, grumpy Betty is finding her heart merry and light. But the happier she gets, the shorter Hall's time on earth grows. Can Betty channel the Christmas spirit and learn to live with goodwill toward all men? Or will her selfish ways return as soon as the holidays are over? Okay. And this is the last one. This is A Murder at Balmoral by Chris McGeorge. And it says, the king is dead, the killer is in the family. Solving this murder will be a royal pain. The royal family has gathered at their Scottish retreat, Balmoral Castle, for a traditional Christmas. As a blizzard gathers outside and a delicious dinner is prepared, the family circles up for a holiday toast. King Eric has something momentous to say. In fact, he is about to name his successor. But as he raises a glass of his favorite whiskey, he drops dead. The king has been poisoned. Someone in the family must have done it, and each one of them had opportunity and motive. Eric's beloved head chef, Jonathan, must now play detective. Why would one of the king's own family members want to kill him? And how did they do it? What happens in the castle usually stays in the castle, but this secret might be too big for these battlements. John is determined to expose the truth, even if it puts him in the killer's crosshairs and shakes the entire monarchy to its core. Okay, so without reading the whole thing, I know that the holiday swap is these two are twins and they swap places. That's all I know. An Irish Country Christmas. Barry Laverty is looking forward to his first Christmas in the cozy village of Ballybucklebeau, at least until he learns that his sweetheart Patricia might not be coming home for the holiday. But a young doctor plying his trade in the emerald hills and glens of rural Ireland has little time to dwell on romantic disappointments. We'll leave it at that. All right. Let's look at these. Mary Elizabeth Braden or Braden, I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. Sir John Penlyon is a long-widowed old man who lives with no close family left after he disowned his daughter for marrying beneath herself. And he's spending Christmas with his friend and his friend's niece. The Rose and the Ring, which is a fantasy novel. And this just tells about William Makepeace Thackeray. All right. What better way to celebrate the season of mistletoe, romance, and Yuletide festivities than with the beloved Austen family, filled with the remarkable wit and wisdom of one of the world's most cherished authors? A Jane Austen Christmas gives a new insight into Jane Austen's life through little-known stories about how she and her family celebrated the treasured holiday season. Okay, and this is also a Jane Austen Christmas. And it says, many Christmas traditions and images of old-fashioned holidays are based on Victorian celebrations. Going back just a little farther to the beginning of the 19th century, the holiday Jane Austen knew would have looked distinctly odd to modern sensibilities. How odd? Families rarely decorated Christmas trees. Festivities centered on socializing instead of gift giving. Festivities focused on adults, with children largely consigned to the nursery. Holiday events, including balls, parties, dinners, and even wedding celebrations, started a week before Advent and extended all the way through to Twelfth Night in January. Okay, so hard times. Set amid smokestacks and factories, Charles Dickens' Hard Times is a blistering portrait of Victorian England as it struggles with the massive economic turmoil brought on by the Industrial Revolution. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. It's set in the mid-19th century and written from the author's first-hand experience. It follows the story of the heroine's movement from the tranquil but moribund ways of southern England to the vital but turbulent north. I think it also takes place in the Industrial Revolution? Question mark? I'm not sure. I already told you what this one is about. And I'm not going to tell you what these two are about because Jenna always does a wonderful job. She always posts a video explaining everything you would need to know. So that is my December TBR, and if you would like to if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more from me, just click that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.